Welcome to the graveyard of high-end cars, gathering dust on dealer lots across America. Today, we're exposing the vehicles that look stunning in ads but turn into financial nightmares once you sign. Stick around for number 1, a farewell model that flopped hard. Let's dive in. Number 7, Genesis G90. First, we'll have to discuss something called Market Day Supply, or MDS, since this is something that'll come up a lot in this video. This number tells us how many days it would take to sell every single car on dealer lots if nobody ordered any new ones. High MDS equals cars nobody wants to buy. That said, the Genesis G90 is sitting in the lot for over 170 days. That means dealers have 562 unsold G90s versus just 149 that actually found homes. Sure, the G90 comes loaded with rich materials, delivers a silky smooth ride, and undercuts German competitors at $91,000. But here's the thing, Genesis is still the new kid on the luxury block, and luxury car buyers are creatures of habit who trust established badges. However, G90 is equally responsible for such low sales numbers. CarEdge slapped this sedan with a brutal D rating for value retention, and the numbers are absolutely devastating. Over 5 years, a G90 owner is looking at $103,866 in total ownership costs in the form of depreciation, insurance premiums, maintenance and repairs, loan interest, and fuel costs. The depreciation alone will eat $54,415 of value. That's more than half the car's worth evaporating into thin air. And then there are the recalls, and this is where things get genuinely scary. For instance, there have been recalls of 2017 to 2022 Genesis G90 model years with 3.3-liter turbocharged V6 engines due to turbocharger oil pipes leaking onto hot exhaust parts, increasing the risk of an engine compartment fire. There have been recalls for loss of drive power due to fuel pump failure in the recent Genesis G90 models. And believe it or not, certain 2023 Genesis G90 vehicles have been recalled due to the risk of seal belts exploding during crashes and shooting metal fragments around the cabin. Add in oil pressure sensor failures, transmission slipping, air suspension problems, and a dealer network so sparse that finding qualified service becomes a treasure hunt. The G90 might look appealing on paper, but it's a luxury gamble that smart buyers should skip entirely. Up next, a luxurious sedan with roots dating back to 1994. But in today's market, heritage alone isn't enough to justify a purchasing decision. Number 6, Audi A8. This flagship sedan promised to be Audi's answer to the Mercedes S-Class and BMW 7 Series, packed with cutting-edge tech and that signature Audi sophistication. But the numbers tell a different story entirely. In 2024, U.S. sales plummeted 28% to just 1,628 units, and 2025 looks even worse, with only 148 cars sold, while 560 units gathered dust on dealer lots. That's a brutal MDS of 170 days. The Audi A8 sales slump stems from brutal depreciation. Starting at $93,000, it loses nearly 50% of its value in 5 years, or a staggering 62.7% for the A8L. The problem isn't just money, it's relevance. The luxury market has shifted toward SUVs, and smart buyers know that the current A8 generation is nearing the end of its life cycle. Perhaps waiting for the promised electric A8 arrival in 2026 or 2027 seems like a more sensible decision to them. Up next is a compact luxury SUV from one of the worst-rated automakers when it comes to reliability. Number 5, Land Rover Range Rover Velar. This SUV looks like it rolled straight out of a sci-fi movie with its sleek lines and avant-garde design, but as we're about to see, pretty faces can hide some ugly truths. The numbers tell an alarming story right off the bat. With an MDS of 182 days, dealers have 3,071 Velars sitting on lots while only managing to sell 761 units. That's a ratio that would make any dealer manager break out in a cold sweat. Why? Well, CarEdge handed the Velar a D- rating, and once you see the ownership costs, you'll understand why. Starting between $63,000 and $80,000, this beauty will lose 62% of its value in just 5 years. That means your $70,000 Velar becomes worth $28,626. But depreciation is just the beginning of your financial nightmare. Over the first 10 years, you're looking at $17,702 in maintenance and repairs alone. That's $5,208 more than the luxury SUV average. Even worse, there's a shocking 51.26% chance your Velar will need a major repair during that time. The common problems paint an even grimmer picture. Owners have reported problems such as freezing screens, unresponsive touch controls, and blackouts. In extreme conditions, the transmission fails completely, which necessitates costly replacement parts. While software updates provide temporary fixes, mechanical problems continue to exist. Most importantly, Velar owners consistently report engine problems as their topmost concern. Users encounter sluggish acceleration and rough idling along with engine stalling, mainly when starting their vehicle in cold temperatures. While the luxury models we've covered so far struggle with legitimate buyer concerns, their problems pale in comparison to what's coming next on our list. Number 4. Cadillac CT4. Launched in 2019 as a 2020 model, the CT4 was supposed to take down the BMW 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class, and Audi A4 with sharp design, rewarding driving dynamics, and a tech-heavy cabin. But truth be told, the CT4 sells far worse than the ATS, which it replaced, and far worse than the BMW 3 Series, which it purports to compete with. But why? The sales numbers are absolutely brutal. In 2024, Cadillac managed to sell just 6,208 CT4s. That's down from 9,144 the year before. But 2025 has been even worse, with only 669 units sold, while 2,706 cars sit on dealer lots collecting dust. That gives it a MDS of 182 days, which means dealers have enough CT4s to last half a year without getting a single new one. Now, you might think this is just because everyone's buying SUVs these days, but here's the thing. The BMW 3 Series is still selling like hotcakes, as over 31,000 units were sold in 2024 alone. The problem isn't the sedan market, it's that the CT4 lacks the brand appeal that European luxury buyers crave, and it also carries that dreaded unreliable tag. Real-world testing by automotive experts has revealed numerous reliability issues. Journalists from Car and Driver and Edmunds reported frequent electrical glitches, including a digital gauge cluster that would randomly black out or display incorrect information, along with an infotainment system prone to freezing and requiring complete reboots, issues that dealers often couldn't permanently resolve. Even more concerning were the persistent transmission problems, with testers noting harsh shifts, clunking noises, and generally unrefined behavior, particularly when accelerating from a stop. Problems that remained even after multiple dealer software updates. And now GM has recalled over 90,000 vehicles, including the CT4 for transmission control valve defects that cause fluid leaks and harsh shifting. Another factor behind extremely slow sales is that industry insiders believe the CT4 will be discontinued after 2025 due to poor sales in GM's electric Focus. Before we reveal the final three, make sure to leave a like and share your thoughts on the luxury cars we've mentioned so far. Number 3. Porsche Taycan. When Porsche decides to build something, it's usually gold. These are the people who've been making dreams on wheels for decades, so when they announced their first electric sports sedan, everyone expected magic. Well, turns out the magic trick they pulled was making over $100,000 disappear from your bank account. The Taycan starts at $101,400, which already makes most of us wince. But if you want the full crazy experience with the Turbo GT, you're looking at $232,000. That's not just expensive. That's I could buy a house expensive. But the problem is not the price. It is that this car is losing value at an alarming rate. IC Cars actually ranked the Taycan in their top 25 vehicles with the highest 5-year depreciation list, showing a brutal 60.1% depreciation over 5 years. The sales numbers show exactly what's happening. Only 4,747 Taycans found homes in America last year, out of just 20,836 sold worldwide. Porsche's official explanation: they admit they got way too excited about the electric car revolution and overestimated demand. Meanwhile, dealers are sitting on 185 days worth of inventory, with only 538 cars sold this year. But beyond the financial concerns, there are some serious reliability issues that make potential buyers nervous. October 2024 brought a major recall of 27,527 Taycans due to battery fire risks. Earlier that year, charging cable overheating led to another fire-related recall. Most recently, 9,735 Taycans from 2022 to 2023 were recalled because passenger airbags might fail to deploy during crashes. Number 2. Audi Q4 e-tron. The Audi Q4 e-tron isn't the first choice of buyers shopping for a compact luxury EV SUV. And while there is no denying that the Q4 e-tron and Q4 e-tron Sportback deliver on Audi's tech-focused ethos and the brand's typical good looks outside and in, both lack in two key areas against rivals like the Tesla Model Y and Volvo EX40. Starting at $51,100 and climbing to $66,100 for the Sportback Prestige, you'd expect competitive performance against Tesla and Volvo. Instead, you get a mediocre 288 miles of range with the single-motor setup that drops to just 258 miles when you add all-wheel drive. Compare that to Tesla's Model Y long-range AWD, which costs less at $50,000 but delivers a superior 320 miles of range. Even Volvo's EX40 at $53,000 manages 293 miles per charge. Moreover, Audi's charging infrastructure simply can't compete with Tesla's massive supercharger network. But the real gut punch? Depreciation. According to iSeeCars, the Q4 e-tron loses a jaw-dropping 69.2% of its value over 5 years. That would result in a resale value of just $15,344. That's not a dip, that's financial freefall. Unsurprisingly, these shortcomings are absolutely killing the sales numbers of Q4 e-tron. Dealers are sitting on 2,214 unsold Q4 e-trons, with only 476 units finding homes so far. That's a shocking MDS of 209 days, meaning there's nearly 7 months of inventory gathering dust on lots. Number 1. Jaguar FPace. The FPace is the last internal combustion engine model produced by Jaguar, and its production is planned to end in early 2026 as the automaker plans to transition to an all-electric lineup. You'd think that kind of historic send-off would spark a frenzy at dealerships, a final chance, a collector's item, right? Well, not quite. Leading the pack of slowest-selling luxury vehicles, oh, the irony for this performance SUV, the FPace is sitting on a massive 235-day supply. Only 592 units have escaped dealer lots, and it's hard not to feel bad for FPace's full-blown flop. At $58,350 for the P250R Dynamic S trim climbing to $68,000 for the P400R Dynamic S, you'd expect premium reliability to match that premium price tag. Instead, FPace owners are dealing with a laundry list of headaches that read like a mechanic's horror story. Think electrical gremlins where sensors go rogue and infotainment systems freeze at the worst possible moments. The transmission is notorious for uncertainty, especially in stop-and-go traffic, while the engine throws random tantrums with stalling and misfires that leave you stranded. But the real tragedy isn't just the mechanical mayhem. It's watching your investment evaporate before your eyes. According to iSeeCars, the FPace hemorrhages a staggering 57.7% of its value over 5 years, leaving owners with just $24,050 from their original investment. CarEdge twisted the knife deeper by slapping this luxury SUV with an embarrassing D- rating for value retention. And if that wasn't brutal enough, Consumer Reports ranks the FPace as one of the least reliable new cars available in 2025. If you enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you'll love this next video too. Thanks for watching.